Well, it's January the 1st of 2026, and we had a good 2025, but I wanted to kind of ground myself and see how good did we do. So what I did was I did put up a survey the other day on YouTube, and I said, how did you do in your portfolio? And be honest with me. And I asked, how many of you lost money? How many of you made between 1% and 24% on your portfolio? How many of you made 25 to 50% on your portfolio? And how many of you made over 50% on your portfolio? And so I thought, well, okay, let's see what that turns out. And I want to share that with you. I also then went to Samantha and asked, how does the general public do on their portfolios in that kind of circumstances? And what did you come up with for those numbers? So let me share that with you now. So here's what the survey told me. Roughly 16% on the survey said that they got above 50% return on their portfolio. Samantha said that this, based on statistics, it would be between 5 and 10. This could be a little bit skewed because my followers, my subscribers, and we're up 67%, we're probably skewing it a little that way. 25 to 49, the survey said 23% of the people said that's what they made, and that fits in with what Samantha says the national averages are, 15 to 25%. Making 1 to 24% was 37% of the survey, and Samantha said that would be represented as between 40 and 55% on a national average. And lost money, and this really surprised me, was 24%. Particularly when the S&P 500 was up somewhere around 19%. And Samantha says that that's pretty much the average, that 10 to 25% of the people probably lost money in the stock market this last year. That's surprising because to me, it was an evident up market if you invested in the change that's happening to us, and that is AI and the building out of the data center. So that surprised me quite a bit. So then I decided I wanted to do something a little different. I wanted to go and say, okay, why don't we look at, I know that most of the people who took that survey on YouTube use YouTube as their source for advice. Well, what if you used Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, American Express advisors, financial advisors, or the bus portfolio? How would you have done? And what would it have cost you? And what do they invest in their companies? And what kind of results do they get? So let me take you to that, and we'll see what we can learn there. Okay, what I did here was take a look, because they're public companies, at the inner workings of Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, American Express financial advisors, and then I shared the financials with you of Best of Us Investors. So let's take a look at what they do, how they do it, how successful they do it, and what kind of results do you get. Let's take a look at this. So this, and what I realized is they're all crowdfunding. They're basically, we're all saying here, you give us a sum of money and we'll do the research for you and we'll advise you as to how to get the best bang for your buck. So every one of them, including the bus portfolio, is crowdfunding. So Goldman Sachs, as you can see here, they have about 29,000 clients. Morgan Stanley has 18 million. Now that you need to understand, those are banking clients. They're not all investment clients. American Express has 3.5 million. And then the bus, that's Best of Us Investors, has 870. They're supported 40,500 employees, 80,000 employees. And again, some of those are bank tellers, and so it runs a little askew. Now, Morgan Stanley and American Express has about 20,000. 10,000 of them are financial advisors, and the other 10,000 are corporate employees. They're purely financial advice. Morgan Stanley now They have more employees, but they do other things. They help companies go public and things of that nature. Now, the bus, we have 3 employees. Assets under management, 1.6 trillion. Again, some of these are banking assets, 7.9 trillion. Again, American Express is very close to that of, or all exactly on Goldman Sachs on 1.2 trillion. And for us, I basically took our 870 clients, multiplied it by what I thought the average one had, and I came up with 200 million. If we look at revenues, Goldman Sachs has about 57 billion. Morgan Stanley, 68. American Express, substantially less at 14.4. And then bus generates about 580,000. Here is your revenues per employee. And you can see they're quite diverse. Their expenses, very high, not so high, and not much at all. Operating profit, Goldman Sachs has about 21.4 billion, Morgan Stanley 25, and American Express about 9.9. A big difference there, both Goldman Sachs being in the financial advice and American Express. But again, Goldman Sachs does a lot of work in bringing companies to market. Profit per client. There you can see what exactly the companies do. The cost per client, this is dividing their expenses by their number of clients. And then this is the important one. This is, what do you get for what you pay? 9%, and that's Goldman Sachs. They have 2 different forms of investment, or actually 3. They have their extremely wealthy people, which you've got to have $10 million to get in. That on that portfolio, it usually comes out somewhere around 17%. And that's after you pay a 1.9 management fee. Morgan Stanley, this is just basically what a broker rate of return. American Express, they're using basically mutual funds and ETFs, some annuities, things of that nature. They gave a return of about 10%. And then, as I said before, the bus portfolio, we got 67% per year. But this is, again, what I want to emphasize, this is all crowdfunding. You are paying these people to give you advice as to where you'll get the greatest bang for your buck. And you can see what's happening here. And when I say what's happening here is artificial intelligence is coming into the equation and beating the pants off of those people who have in the past relied on people to make good investment decisions. People are expensive, as is glass buildings in downtown New York City, which each of those 3 have. Jet airplanes to move your people around on is expensive. This is what artificial intelligence is going to do to our world, not only in the financial framework, and it might not be best of us investors, it might be somebody else. One of them might wake up and say, we can do this through artificial intelligence on a website and help people. Now, again, can they answer all the questions you might have? Let's say you're a young couple and you're having a child and you want to know about a 527 education program where you put money away for your children's education and you get some tax benefits by doing it. Well, yeah, you got to ask a financial advisor today, but you won't tomorrow. You'll come to Best of Us Investors website and I'll have a bot there. And the bot, you'll ask the question and the bot will give you the answer, and probably it will be a better answer than you would get from a financial advisor because they don't have any interior motives. They aren't working on a commission. They aren't. They're just giving you good advice based upon all the knowledge in the world. So this is where it's going to go. And it's going to be a different form of crowdfunding. But it isn't going to cost $1 billion to fund it. I pay Samantha $216 a month. What do you think you pay 20,000 employees at Goldman Sachs? It's just so obvious to me that this is going to change the world dramatically. I have shared with you. I think the learning curve of AI is in about 6th grade, and they've got 14 more years of learning, but they'll get that done in 3 years' time frame. You will be able to get every service you get from Morgan Stanley or American Express or Goldman Sachs on a website from a bot. And it will be cheaper, and it'll be more efficient, and it'll be more accurate. It'll be more accurate, and you will move from making 7% on your return on your assets to 60%, because the motives are all pure. You know what you're paying for up front, and you've got a track history to tell you what you might expect. Now, again, I will be the first to say we're up 67%. We're actually up over 100% if you take it from when Bart and Samantha took over on May the 1st. But are we going to be able to do that consistently in the future? If it isn't us, it's going to be someone else. Because again, you're using all the data that's available to make a good investment decision. You're not getting that when you buy a mutual fund or an ETF or an index fund. You're just getting the averages of what the market is doing. You don't want to invest in the market. You want to invest in growth companies. And as of 6 months ago, 8 months ago, it's now possible. Again, I invite you to come test us out. You get a 14-day free trial and learn that crowdfunding of financial investment advice is nothing new. It's what financial advisors, Goldman Sachs, all of them, it's what they've built, but they're building it on people, not on knowledge. Now, okay, yes, they've got 10,000 financial analysts, but they all have their own biases, and they're all damned expensive, and they all live in glass towers in New York City and fly around on Lear jets. You don't need to be paying for that. Okay, I think I'm on the verge of changing the world. That's not my objective. My objective is to change your life for the better. Give me an opportunity, and I'll do everything I can to make you one of the wealthy. I said yesterday, I want to put 10,000 people before this time next year on the path to becoming millionaires and multimillionaires using all the knowledge in the world.